funny part is, it was a gal in our office that worked for us, and she wanted to buy a timeshare, and she actually bought, I think it was somewhere in the desert, and she bought from a Canadian person. The guy called up, wanted to sell, and, oh, I want this, I'm going to use it. And great, okay, so the first thing she says to me, well, do I really need an escrow and title? I mean, I'm talking to the guy, why can't he just transfer it to me? And I'm going, Margaret Ann, you have to have insurance if you're going to run it through this, because a lot of people don't think, you know, I'm part of the transaction too, so I want to make sure that the escrow is correct and so on and so forth, and I want to protect the seller. So I finally convinced her. She didn't like it. She paid $300. She got the insurance. 3 months later, she gets this bill from the tax assessor. I think it was in Palm Springs, and basically you owe us $600 because we've tried to collect the taxes from this fella in Canada, but he's never paid it. And they missed it. They missed it during the transaction. And I looked at her and I said, Mark, aren't you glad you got insurance? They paid the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that doesn't happen often.
Doesn't happen often, but it just takes
What a
one time.
protection.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the problem is not things like that. Most of the time it's fraudulent signatures, break of the chain of tile, that type of thing. Tile, that's the one you probably I said wrong instead of title. But it doesn't, usually it's not something like the tax thing, but here was a monetary amount and they took care of it. So another case would be, it hasn't happened, but if they actually transferred the wrong property, and let's say they transferred a studio and you really owned a one-bedroom, they would have to make good on that.